Hey everyone, my name is Monroe Mann, and welcome to another break diving event. My hair is a little funny. I just got out of the shower. My hair is still wet. That's okay though, no big deal. Today we're having a cash flow event. For those of you on YouTube, you can join us at breakdiving.io. We are the friendliest place on the internet, a free, not-for-profit, worldwide, supportive community of people going after their dreams and making things happen. So we got two awesome people today, Nakia Dillard, old friend of mine who's getting a little bit older like I am because I see a little gray in his beard.
Yes, good.
And Leo out in Jordan. And Nakia, you're located where?
I'm in Philadelphia.
Philadelphia. Fantastic, fantastic. So today, first of all, I just want to ask you, Nakia, to explain your background and your lovely traditional garb.
Thank you, man. Well, I'm from Philadelphia. I'm an actor, entrepreneur. I've actually known Monroe, man. Before I even knew Monroe, I bought his books, and they, just basically like changed my whole outlook on the acting world of being a theatrical juggernaut. So I used to use what he wrote in the book to help me, even just with my mindset, making it where people come to me versus I'm always chasing somebody, so it was interesting, but through that I've done tons of plays, and I've done a lot of films. So some of my background is I worked on a show called The Wire. I was on House of Cards, Do No Harm, and currently I'm working on this show, Black Lightning. I played Terrence Long on the show, and I didn't die. So
as long as if you didn't die, then you still got another season potentially.
Exactly. Still have another chance.
Where can people watch the show?
Oh, you can actually watch Black Lightning on Netflix.
And what's the name of your character again?
Terrence Long.
Terrence Long, Black Lightning actor Nakia Dillard. And for those of you watching, he's also a member of Break Diving. Grateful to have him here. And he's been supporting me for many years. I've been supporting him for many years. And so we're kind of a symbiotic relationship. And and what about your traditional, is that traditional African garb?
Actually, it is, but I just bought this in my travels,
Yeah, this is your quarantine sit at home.
Right.
Fantastic. Well, that's great. And Leo, how are you doing? What's going on in Jordan?
Everything's okay now, actually. Nothing's going on that much. Like the cases dropped down to 0 for now.
Oh, good.
And yeah, we don't have anything because like the police and the army just holding everything and lock people down, and there's a lot of policies that you have to follow. That's why the cases just dropped down to 0. So everyone just followed these policies.
Gotcha. I'm happy to hear that, and we're all hoping the world's cases all start to go to 0.
Yeah,
I hope that's so, actually.
At some point. And speaking, it's a good segue into what we're talking about today. Today is one of our cash flow meetings. We talk about money and jobs and what we're doing to improve our incomes. And some of us have lost jobs, like myself. I had two good sources of income, and because of the pandemic, I lost both of those sources of income. So I'm looking for for new jobs right now. And some people are doing all right, but we all want to do better. And so that's what these meetings are about, is saying, hey, no judgment. If you got screwed over and things are tough right now, hey, so be it. If you're doing well and you're trying to do better to make things even easier for you, that's great as well. And so that's what these meetings are about. We don't judge anybody about their financial situations. All we're about is to improving them, helping people do better.
Mm.
And as the host, I'll start. And we were talking about in the chat rooms, the three things that I'm working on are, I am a paid columnist for the Epic Times, which is a newspaper, worldwide newspaper, but they're based in New York City. And so since I lost the other sources of income, I'm going to put more effort into pitching articles to them, because that's certainly money in the bank and gets more publicity out there for me. Gets my name out there, and so it's a double whammy. I'm going to be pushing, promoting, applying for additional jobs. I've been looking for a whole bunch of remote jobs. I'm in not a difficult situation, but a complicated situation, because break diving has become such an integral part of my life that I can't just abandon it. And so I'm looking for other remote opportunities and doing that online. And number three, the third thing is just continuing pushing break diving, because I'm still convinced, we all are, that this thing is going to take off like a rocket ship, and that this will eventually be my job. So
Yeah.
that's my plan for the next rest of July, is to make new pitches, apply to some new remote jobs, and continue pushing break diving. And Leo, so you were talking about, I know you're in nursing school now, and but you talked about, and so you're not really technically looking for sources of income right at this moment. But what are the things you're going to be doing over the next 10 days of July that will help you in the next 2 years to have a good, steady source of income?
Actually, first of all, I am working hard on improving my knowledge in nursing. And this will boost me a lot to get a lot of job opportunities in a good hospital, like the #1 hospital in Jordan, called Al-Hussein Cancer Hospital. Actually, I wanted to work in that hospital. It's so amazing. It has like kind of the best salary here, so I'm working hard to get my chance to work there first before I get the chance to apply for my NCLEX International Nursing exam to work as a nurse to the USA. So this is my first thing, working hard in my nursing to get this job. And the second thing that I'm working on now, like I'm trying to improve myself in my graphic and digital art designing, because I'd like to get turning my fantasy fiction story into comics, and maybe start to publishing it. Like I will start to get help with publishing my the Outcasts, my story that I've been writing for 2 years from now. And actually, I finished my manuscript, the 15 chapters. Um, the third thing that I'm working on, actually, I will continue pushing break diving, because it's so amazing company that I've been helping, like I think for a month from now. So amazing. I'm glad that I actually participated and became one of the staff members. So those are the three things that I'm working hard now. Monroe,
Oh,
you're
yeah, the master host was muted.
yeah.
It happens to everybody in this Zoom fueled world. I was just saying, I think that sounds great. I'm excited that you finished your graphic novel, Outcast, your novel, and it'll be great to see that finally. And congrats on the continued nursing success. And Nakia, you are, oh, now you're unmuted. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what about you? What are the things you're going to do over the next 2 weeks that are going to improve your situation even more, to bring in some more cash?
Well, let me see. Over few things I'm working on. Like we were talking in the group. We were it's a thing called a SouSou, and I've been working doing that, and that's actually been helping because right now with the industry on a shutdown, a lot of the things that I've been working on has been independent, but they social distance and stuff like that on set, which is good. So I've just been kind of in creative mode. Like I teach acting online. So instead of me having classes where people would come to me. Now I'm online, so now I'm actually able to teach in many states and around the country. You know, I have somebody I'm actually coaching right now in Spain,
That's
and
great.
yeah, so I do that. That's one that I'll continue to do. Um, like I said, the SouSou. Uh,
So
is,
let me go back to the SouSou thing. Was I right that the SouSou is this thing where everybody puts in money every month, and then if you have a problem, you're able to take money out?
well, it's similar to that. Only thing is nobody holds the money. That's the good thing. It's like no treasurer. So soon you come in, you kind of gifting the person that's in the middle, and I've actually cashed out like 4 times, like no 5 times. I made on one group I made almost $4,000, man.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I'll let you know how to do it.
Yeah.
But
If you
that's a way.
share me, if you guys are watching, Nakia is going to give me the link for the SouSou thing and an article. I'll post it on the YouTube channel in the comment in the information section if you're interested in learning more as well.
Hmm. So it does work. The third thing, I'm actually putting together. I'm doing some virtual summer camps for actors, for kids, you know, and so I'm working on that. I should have that up in like the beginning of or the middle of August. I should start that class, but yeah, just been working on like creating different workshops. I'm having a agent workshop, just different things that can help actors, you know. So that's all I've been pretty much.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Thanks,
And
man.
I think for all three of us, I mean, we all have different stories as we're all listening to here, but I think the common thread is that the pandemic has affected every one of us, and I'm so forthcoming with. I remember 20 years ago actually when I wrote the book that Nakia was talking about, the theatrical juggernaut, and even up to about 10 years ago. I always gave off this inflated impression of of the position that I was, because I wanted to impress everybody. And it was always me giving off this idea, and I didn't let anybody know of any difficulties. And ever since I started breakdiving and coming up with the mission is to help other people and to inspire people, I just started to just drop this veil or this mask.
Mm-hmm.
And so I know some of you watching might be thinking, "Oh my gosh, this guy's the head of this company, and he lost his 2 sources of income, and he's trying to apply to jobs and you know what? That's the real world. That's what the world is, and nothing's ever going to be perfect." And so I mean, Nakia even mentioned that even though yeah, he's a big actor on Black Lightning, a major show on Netflix, and guess what?
Yeah.
He even shared that his jobs have dried up a little bit too.
Yeah.
And in Jordan, it's the same situation. So where any one of you guys watching this, don't be ashamed if you've lost your job in this time. And you know, it reminds me of the story. I'm sure maybe Nakia, you saw it. He used to be a big actor. He was a black gentleman as well. And somebody took photos of him.
Oh, I know you're talking about the guy from the Cosby Show.
From the Cosby Show, yeah, and now he was working as a checkout clerk at the supermarket.
Yeah, Trader
And
Joe's.
everybody shamed him for that, and I'm glad they did, because now he got so many offers.
Right.
You know, in some ways he should be grateful that these people shamed him. But it also, more importantly, I think it brought to the attention of the world that you shouldn't be ashamed of your job. You shouldn't be ashamed if you don't have a job.
Right.
You shouldn't be ashamed if you're struggling to make money, especially now.
Right.
Because I think there's something I just read, 30 million Americans have lost their jobs. I'm one of them as a result of this. So I think like the main message of this cash flow meeting is, who cares what other people think about you?
Right.
You're a great person, regardless of your financial situation. I think that's the thing that pisses me off so much about society, is that we judge people's worth based on their incomes
Right.
and the jobs that they do.
Right.
And the truth is that doesn't say anything. None of those two things say anything about an individual. Nakia, Leo, start with you, Nakia. What are your thoughts on that? And then Leo.
No, I totally agree. You know, because even like when people think of actors, they think of you know, that they're just sitting on piles and piles of money, you know, but they don't understand that acting is a glorified temp job in a way. When I say that is, you know, you have all the bells and whistles. You get on set, you got the trailer, you got they feed you all, you know, everything is beautiful. But when they say, all right, everybody in the Nakia's wrapped, check the gate, all that stuff. I go back to my trailer, take my stuff out the thing, and I'm like, oh man, I left my pencil in there. Before I turn around, my name is already off my trailer. Now I gotta find another job, you know. So you know, but it's great. It's great when you're working. And I've been really blessed that I've been working a lot. You know, I've been working on multiple projects. Like even with even right before the pandemic, I was shooting a film, and I got a call from my manager that I had booked a Power Book 2, Ghost Power Book 2 with Method Man and Mary J. Blige. Booked that on the 9th. On the 13th, the world shut down.
Oh no.
So I'm still on hold, but I don't know when I'm gonna go back on set and shoot, you know. But
so summarizing that, what's your bit for those watching on YouTube? What's your advice?
I would say, you know, if you guys can look within and create, because you have so many, you have millions, trillions inside of you that has been untapped. Like just like Monroe. I met Monroe through a book, his book, you know, and I've actually bought his book several times and just, you know, send it to my students and bought them as gifts. But the thing is, that was inside of Monroe. If Monroe, you know, didn't put that out there, that's a stream of income for Monroe. You know what I mean? So you have so many ideas. Like, don't think just because somebody else is doing something that you like, oh, I can't do it too. If you feel, you know, it's so much stuff out here in the world, y'all, that you can do. But I'd say definitely look inward and look to create opportunities.
That's great. That's great advice. Yeah, don't believe there's no solution
Right.
to whatever financial problem that you are dealing with right now. You're good. One thing I'll add before I ask Leo for his input is just one thing that I did learn over. I read Rich Dad Poor Dad many years ago.
Love that book.
And Nakia loves it too. We all love that book. And one of the many things it taught me is you better reduce your expenses and increase your savings.
Yeah.
Because wealth is measured in how many months you can survive without an income. And so, although I have lost my two main sources of income, my steady, ready sources of income, because I have a bunch of savings and my expenses are reasonably low, I'm stressed, but I'm not panicking. And I think, I mean, I'm stressed because I don't want to use my savings. Whoever really does, you don't want to touch that.
Right.
But what is it there for but to be used in a situation when a pandemic strikes? That's when you use your emergency savings. I always wondered, when would I use the emergency savings? World pandemic, that's the thing that'll do it. And so if you haven't yet, start saving up money. And people say, I don't have enough money to save. I don't have enough income to save up. I don't care. Even when I make the very littlest amount of money, let's say $50 check comes in, $1 will go into savings. Because you know what? That dollar, that adds up. And before you know it, you've saved up a whole massive amount of money that gives you a nice cushion. Leo, what are your thoughts about the original topic, which was the fact that some people seem to judge people based on their incomes and their jobs rather than who they are as people?
Actually, I'm totally agree with both of you about what you are saying. Like people always tend to judge everyone's about from the outside. Like whenever you lost your job, no, you didn't do it right because you wasn't sufficient or something like that. So actually, you don't have to judge people from what happened with them. Like months ago, I was working in hotel actually, in a hotel, but once they got a new a better one or a better like worker or stuff like that because of the pandemic, they actually starts to starts to make everyone resigning without like just just like doing a lot of bad things to their employees and to just resigning from like themselves. So what I'm saying is just don't judge, as the saying is, don't judge a book from its cover actually, because you don't know what people have been through and why this already happened to them. So and actually don't be sad. Don't be sad about like losing your job, or you have to just sit down. You have plenty of time to think about more and more what you have been missing, why you did actually lose those jobs. Figure out yourself more. Figure out your basic values that will, or figure out what your basic interests are that will improve yourself, improve your skills and abilities that will help you more and more in the future to get more job opportunities, more steady and stable one that will get you and improve your income more and more.
Wise words. I like the reminder about not judging a book by its cover. And I think in this time when everybody is struggling financially, and I say everybody because honestly, in some ways, everybody's impacted by this. And so it may be struggling emotionally because of it or financially, but nobody's going through this smooth sailing. You said don't judge a book by its cover. I think we need to apply that most to ourselves.
Yeah,
Don't judge yourself based on whether you're employed right now, whether you have a lot of money saved up. Don't judge yourself based on your bank account. And I, for one, have to constantly remind myself of that because I've accomplished incredible things in life. And anybody who looks at my resume is blown away. And so I'm saying this not to brag, but to let you know that I'm not a millionaire by any stretch of the imagination yet. I'm still working my butt off to take care of my mom and to so I can I would love to be able to say, hey, break diving, here's a $50,000 donation from the founder. I'm not there yet. And I'm okay recognizing it, but I have to always remind myself, Monroe, don't judge yourself based on how much money you have in the bank. And it's so hard because it's the way we keep score, it seems, in this society is, oh, does he have a good paying job? Or does she have a well-respected title at the company? And the truth is, look at Mother Teresa. I always think about her. She didn't make really that much money at all. And she didn't have a fancy title. And she lived in very Spartan conditions. And yet we all look up to her and respect her as an incredible force of nature. And so again, even if you have great accomplishments, you can still feel like you're a loser and a failure sometimes. And that's again why break diving is here. And like right now, while I'm talking, doing this meeting, I don't feel like a loser or a failure, because it's usually when you're alone and you're looking at your bank account statement or you're looking about your life over the past 10 years, you're thinking, oh, but if you live in the moment, that Buddhist thing, like right now, we're in the moment in this video. I don't think Nakia or Leo or none of us is feeling sad. I see Nakia smiling. I'm sure Leo is smiling. Leo, can you give us a high five via Zoom? If you're feeling good, see if we'll see his hand there. Anyway, we'll wait.
I
Maybe
will
he'll.
make a reaction.
Hey, there it is.
I'm a big reaction.
There it is. High five for Leo. Let's give high fives all around. Nakia?
There you go. There
Yeah.
you go.
So I think to conclude this meeting, everyone watching, don't give up. Remember the Break Divers Creed: no rules, no excuses, no regrets. Don't let this pandemic get you down. Everybody is struggling in some way, shape, or form. Use these next 10 days to move forward. Don't wallow in what's happened. It's happened. You lost your job. You lost your income. You lost your wife. You lost your girlfriend. You lost your whatever. It's done. Move over. It's fine. You can't change that. You can change the future.
Yep.
So let's all try to change the future together, our individual futures, and take some action. So put a plan together on paper. What are the 3 things that you're going to do over these next 10 days to improve your situation? I'm reading this great book. I actually want to show it to you guys.
Okay.
I think everybody should read this. It's called Woulda, Coulda, Shoulda.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Overcoming Regrets, Mistakes, and Missed Opportunities.
Okay.
And as you guys know, I have a PhD in psychology. I've been studying this stuff for years. And this book is one of the best positive psychology books, self-help books I've ever read, because anyone who says they don't have regrets is either lying or not trying hard enough. And so I think most of you probably have some regrets. And one of the things that this book, what was the part that something reminded me about? There was a great part that, it said, stop comparing yourself to your next door neighbor, for example, who has a better paying job than you and has a family and has a picket fence and the nice car and the perfect job. That doesn't help to compare yourself to that person. The question is, and I've always known this, I've always said, don't compare. Don't compare yourself to others, because other people don't matter. But something that I never quite reconciled was the fact that, but what's the point of even trying? I feel like such a failure, and I'm never gonna be as pretty as him or beautiful as her, or I'm never gonna have that job. I'm never gonna have Tom Cruise's movie career. And in this book, I just read this part last night, the section I hear on page 209. I read a page or 2 a night in this book. It helps me go to bed feeling good. He said, stop comparing yourself to that person and compare yourself to your current life. Meaning, is there something you can do today that will make your life the tiniest bit better tomorrow? Who cares if you're ever going to get to the Tom Cruise stage or the Whoopi Goldberg stage or Keanu Reeves or Bill Gates or Mark Zuckerberg? They don't have any impact or relation to your life. What you need to do is focus on you. Okay, is there something I can do to improve my life a little bit? And the argument that made so much sense to me was, wouldn't you like to live? Granted, you're upset that you're not a multi-million-dollar movie star right now. Both Nakia and I can relate to that, because we're both extremely handsome and talented actors, but we're not the Will Smiths and Tom Cruises. And the truth is, very few people are going to get there. I'm not saying that it can't happen for me and Nakia, maybe even Leo with his graphic novel, and it could happen. But why should you feel terrible and be wallowing yourself pity of now if maybe in 2 years you could be, instead of at 10%, at 15%? Guess what? You're going to feel better about your life at 15% than if you're at 10%. And the only way you can do that is if you stop comparing yourself to the next door neighbor and start focusing on what can I do to maybe make my life a little bit more of an improvement. Any thoughts on this?
I totally agree.
Well, Leo first, then Nakia.
Sure.
Yeah, actually, I've been reading this book. It's so amazing. It's actually a break diving recommendation. It's called Seven Habits of Highly Effective People. So amazing, actually. This book was talking about the circle of influence and how you have to always just concentrating in your circle of influence and just don't think about your circle of concerns. Like, and you have to work hard to expand this circle of influence to improve your life and to push you through all the negativity that you are to change your perception of the problems and the things and how you can solve those problems and how the people like look at these things. And because if you like everyone have a circle of concerns, like no matter what you will have a circle of concerns, but just don't focus on it. Like every time you focus on it, it will get better, bigger. And whenever it gets bigger, it will give you a lot of tons of
So
negativity.
let me
So
interrupt for 1 second and just ask a question. So, because to see how this relates, the connection. You're saying that the circle of influence, the circle of concern, are the Monroe and Nakia comparing themselves to Tom Cruise and
yeah,
Will Smith
exactly,
type of thing.
exactly.
Whereas the circle of influence is the situation you're living in that you can actually do something about.
Yeah, the circle of influence that you have to focus on yourself, not to be a selfish one or something. No, to work hard on yourself, on your
Mhm.
skills and your abilities to improve yourself, and to change the way you think about the situation, the way you think about the problems, the way you think about the people around you, how you see it, how you see them, and stuff like that. Like just stop, think you can do that. If I have, if I, no, it's not like I have. You have to be. Like I will be, not if you have. So actually stop thinking about your circle of concern. Just focus on your circle of influence. That will push you through all the struggling. And it will take time, but you have to do that to be a proactive person than more than a reactive person.
And and if you didn't hear the title, it was from the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People by
Yeah,
Steve.
actually, I was reading this book and it was so amazing.
So we actually have book club events too here at Breakdiving for those watching on YouTube. And we every 3 weeks we do a different chapter or section of different books. So we actually have done the first chapter of 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. If you want to join Breakdiving at breakdiving.io, you can come and join and be a part of these YouTube shows as well. Nakia, what are your thoughts on that? What Leo and I just talked about?
Well, I agree with you know, you have to worry about where you are right at this moment, because if you stress yourself out thinking about like what other people are doing, um, you know, you'll never be happy. It was crazy because I just had a conversation with one of my friends. He's on a few different shows, but he can still walk around. Like he can go to the store without being mobbed and stuff like that, and which is great, because then you have um, the best of both worlds, because now you can still interact with people, and you can still just be who you are, you know, and that's all we really can do. We can't compare ourselves. Sometimes like different industries try to compare you to other people. You know, oh, you're the next so and so, you're the next this and that. Really, you're not. You're the only person you can be is you.
But
So
I want to be the next Nakia Dillard. So are you telling me that I should stop dreaming? And
that might happen. That might.
because I would like to have a nice part on Black Lightning. So I'd like to be the next Nakia Dillard. And you know what? I will proudly wear traditional African garb, and people can tell me I'm culturally appropriating all they want. I don't care. I'll wear whatever clothing I want. So shove it.
Right, okay. Yeah, but hopefully one day, who knows? I mean, because Monroe's an extremely talented dude. I'm sure he could
Yeah,
be on Black Lightning. He could be on Power. He could be hanging out with Tommy.
That's right. It could happen. It could happen.
actually, I love Black
Definitely.
Friday because it's superhero series, and I'm so addicted to superheroes. But Marvel.
Same here. Yeah, when I got this job, I was just like, you know, I was blown away because I was watching the show, and I was interviewed. I want to say maybe two or 3 months before I got the job. But I want to tell you, I actually auditioned for this like 8 times before I landed this role of Terrence Long. So,
Wow.
you know, people sometimes think you just walk in and you just get it. Nah, you gotta you see the word no more than you hear the word no in this industry.
So you're saying that when you went on the first edition, your beard was black.
Yeah,
And
it was.
by the time you got the part, it was starting to gray. That's how long it took.
Yep. I was a young man back in.
You're still a young man. You're still a young man. We're all still young men. I think that's the idea, is patience too. I think with money and careers, we all want to have it be instant.
Right.
And one thing I'll share that I'm very proud about, which could lead to some money-making opportunities for me in the future. I wrote my PhD dissertation on the decision-making processes and the success processes of successful entertainers. And then one of my mentors from my PhD program, Dr. Rich, he said, hey, I think we could turn this into an actual quantitative test that people could take to determine whether they are on the right track to becoming successful or reaching fame. And so we spent a long time doing this, and we got big samples, this and that. We wrote our own research paper based on it, and we've been submitting it to journals for a long time, getting constant rejections, probably about 2 years. And we just got accepted to a peer-reviewed journal about a week ago. And so it's going to finally be published, and it'll be available on Google Scholar and EBSCOhost and all those journals. And from there, it'll probably get cited by other researchers. And we're hoping that we're going to use this to leapfrog to a book deal based on a book that's scientifically, we've created a scientific process for determining whether someone is likely, if you have the qualities and the education and the experience, if you're on the right track to reaching success and fame.
Wow.
And so,
that's awesome.
Thank you. And the story about that is just why I said that is patience. We submitted it to, I can't even tell you, 10s, 50s, hundreds of these journals, and rejection after rejection after rejection. Finally, we got a yes. And so with all these things, and that's a good advice for Leo too, because he's working on his novel and he wants to get it published. It could take you a long time before you find the publisher that says yes.
And don't get discouraged. Keep going. Just keep believing in you and what you have. Because just like Monroe, sending it to hundreds and hundreds of publishers and now finally getting that opportunity. And that was the same thing with me. Like on The Wire, I auditioned like 7 or 8 times before I landed that role. House of Cards, same thing. And then when I got on set, I didn't even have a script. They gave me my script on set. And I had to learn my lines right then. And my lines were Kevin Spacey's key lines. You know what I'm saying? So I couldn't mess up my cue line with Kevin Spacey, the producer.
Wait, Kevin Spacey was on The Wire?
No, he's on House of Cards. Well, he was on House of Cards.
Oh, House of Cards.
Yeah, House of Cards. Yeah. So I was just saying that with all of it, I had to audition several times before I just landed the role.
Amazing.
But it takes patience. It takes patience. It takes perseverance. And even if you see the film and you're like, wow, like even if that guy got the job over you, it doesn't mean that you're less talented. It could be anything. It could be height. He might look, the person that I auditioned for might look more like the person or whatever. It's so many different variables that
I think the reason Nakia usually doesn't get the role is because he's too attractive. And his voice is too soothing and masculine. Yeah. And they said, I'm sorry, you're going to turn off our viewers who are not as attractive and they're going to compare themselves to you, Nakia.
I'm trying to hold back the sexiness. I'm trying.
I know. You know his beard is not actually, he purposely grays it to try to pull down his sexiness, because it's honestly, if you guys saw him, if you were here in all his glory, it would be too blinding to see. And I didn't want that. We want to make sure that your eyes stay useful so that you can watch our break diving videos in the future. We have Kauser from Pakistan trying to join connecting via audio. We're right at the end here, so that we're gonna finish this up right now. So everyone gets to see the name Kauser on the screen, but will not see or hear her. Cows, are you there? Maybe not. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining. Again, this has been a production of Break Diving. We're a not-for-profit based in New York. Our mission is to improve all of our members' success, happiness, friendship, and also do the same for and our blogs. And we would love you to join us because it's a little bit lonely without you as part of Break Diving. You can join us for free at breakdiving.io. It's an amazing, we call it the friendliest place on earth. Disney is the happiest place on earth. Break Diving is the friendliest place on the internet, where you'll meet friends and supporters from all around the world, people doing all sorts of incredible things with their lives. And we all help one another to reach greater levels of success and have friends. We even have these video meetings like this, and we play games together. So we'll play Scribble, or we'll play other online games, 4 out of 5. If you're lonely, if you're depressed, if you're ambitious, if you are just somebody who wants to connect with other cool people, check the link out, breakdiving.io. I'll also put it down into the information. So we're going to take a quick picture. Actually, everybody, we'll do the picture afterwards. Bye, everybody. Talk to you later.
See y'all later.
Bye-bye.